We were expecting our first baby in April 2016. I was a low-risk pregnancy. We were told to come into the hospital. I remember getting out of the car and I was struggling to walk. You know, I'd been in labour for 6 days. I was absolutely exhausted. And then the doctor said, "I'm sorry, your baby's dead." And then he walked out of the room and left me.
I had Teddy in November 2020. He was born at City Hospital, and we were kept in for a while, discharged the following day to go home, where later that day Teddy became unwell and collapsed, and we had to call an ambulance and be taken into QMC where he died.
Both families fell by a trust, now at the centre of the largest maternity investigation in the history of the NHS. Sky News first met Sarah and Jack in 2018, just 20 months after their daughter Harriet had died.
We should be grieving for our dead daughter and we haven't been able to have her funeral yet. I think it was absolutely brutal. You know, when your baby dies, you go home with an empty car seat, but my body had still given birth, so I was still postnatal, and you know, I was having phantom kicks and my hair was falling out, and then just the relentless battle with the hospital.
There aren't really words to describe that moment in our lives. We have a dead daughter and her death was avoidable. And the hospital knew that they had avoidable baby deaths.
But it would be down to parents to prove it. Both were clinicians at the trust, so knew how to raise the alarm, but say the noise they made was largely ignored by the board and regulators. It was heard, however, by other families with similar experiences. In 2022, Sky News met Kim.
I always felt that something was wrong. You know, healthy babies don't just die. Getting the actual answers was an absolute mission. It should have never been this way. I started campaigning almost straight away after Teddy died. That's when I started connecting with people.
These families will soon learn the true scale of the failings at the trust as Donna Ockendon prepares to publish her report, which includes more than 2,500 cases that are being examined. Each one is more than just a number. Each one is a baby who never went home, or a child now left without a parent. Families whose lives have been changed forever.
I've spoken to hundreds of families during this. There are recurring themes of not being listened to, poor consent practices, issues in relation to discrimination, to poor care, to inadequate staffing to provide safe levels of care. It goes on and on. I think people will be shocked to see the extent of what families have had to endure.
Sky News analysis of NHS figures from 2025 show Nottingham has one of the highest rates of serious birth injuries affecting mothers. It ranks second highest in England for severe perineal tears during childbirth, with 4.7% of births affected, compared to 3.2% across England as a whole. The area also ranks sixth highest for severe postpartum hemorrhages.
I'm still being contacted by families who suspect that their care has been substandard over the last 12 months, and therefore there is definitely work to do. This is not the end. This is just the family's voices being recognised.
The report will likely confirm what many of the families already know, but will aim to answer their crucial questions. But will it lead to change? And what does that even look like?
I think two things, and I think that would be, the first one would be safe maternity care, you know, not safer, safe. And secondly, some form of accountability.
The Trust pays tributes to families and says staff have shown a commitment to change. And as the police run its own investigation into deaths and serious injuries, arrests have been made. The failings reflect a national picture, which is also under scrutiny with an upcoming review, with some families questioning whether that will go far enough.
This review and reviews to publish soon after do not address accountability. They don't take it up as far as the regulators, as far as NHS England and government, and it's those people who need to be called to the stand. I can imagine it's just going to be a continued fight because, you know, we want a public inquiry.